Welcome to The Buzz. I'm your host, Wes Benwick. Joining me today is Ross Fanti with LMH Realty. How are you today?
I'm good, Wes. How are you doing? Happy Valentine's Day.
Same to you. Tell me about LMH Realty. What's the story behind it? Where did they start, and why are you associated with them?
Absolutely. So LMH Realty, we are a full-service real estate company. However, our niche is we specialize on builder representation. We established LMH back in September in 2009, and if you remember, the market right at that point was very slow. And what was happening was a lot of builders were hiring agents as employees and then paying them all the draws, benefits, salaries, and unfortunately they weren't getting a lot of the results that they were looking for. So we created a brokerage to cater specifically towards builders where we represented them in the same way. However, we essentially got compensated as a general real estate company. And so this helped out with a lot of national builders that we were representing, but also a lot of local builders too, especially ones that were just starting up and starting to grow, where they didn't have to worry about overhead costs or any of that, and at the same time still get specialized service strictly on new home construction. So we've been coming up on 10 years coming up soon.
That's great. 10 years in business. Tell me about one of the builders that you're working with currently.
So personally, one of the main builder clients I have the privilege of representing is Vintage Estate Homes. They're based out of Melbourne, Florida. They've been building homes for close to about 30 years now. And they have a division here in Jacksonville, and they have communities in Ponte Vedra Beach. That's actually where I'm going to be working out of. They also have neighborhoods in Mandarin, St. Johns County, Oakleaf, all A locations. And then they also build on individual home sites. In fact, my wife and I, we recently just completed our home with Vintage Estates over in Jacksonville Beach. And then we actually just finished a house right outside the doors from here, a couple blocks down in San Marco.
How about that? So tell me about Vintage Estate. What makes their homes different from others? And what is a custom builder versus a traditional builder? And where does Vintage fit into that picture?
That's a really good question. I've really been fortunate to represent Vintage because I technically, when people ask, tell me about Vintage, I say, well, they're not a custom builder, but they can customize. And what I mean by that is they have their own floor plans already. But say if a family came by and said, we want to change this, or we want to tweak this room, or change this exterior, like what I did in fact, or even if someone said, hey, I don't want to use frame construction, I want to use concrete block, or I want to use a brick exterior, we're able to accommodate all that. It's really, as long as it's structurally feasible, we can work with them. The other benefit too is that unlike a custom builder, we have most of our floor plans already available in some of our other neighborhoods. So instead of a family just looking at a floor plan on paper, which can be difficult for some families to visualize, we actually have similar floor plans that they can walk through and see photos of and really get ideas before they actually see their home going up and say, oh, wait a second, I want to change that. And then the final thing too is that typically custom builders, the price tag is a little bit more expensive, and the reason why is they are literally starting from scratch on every floor plan. Versus with Vintage Estates, where we can essentially incorporate one of our floor plans and modify it to make it a personal custom floor plan for them. So it's a custom home without the custom price.
Well, you mentioned Ponte Vedra. I love that part of town. So do a lot of people, right? Tell me about the location you're in down there.
Absolutely. So in fact, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be completing our newest model in our Eagles Cove neighborhood. Eagles Cove is a 19-home community in Ponte Vedra Beach Boulevard. So we're not talking about Nocatee. We're not talking about further out west. We're talking about you're a mile from the ocean. Wow. We're talking, you're across the street from TPC. So it's really that Ponte Vedra Beach location, which is very exciting. Eagles Cove, I mentioned, it's going to be 19 homes. It's all in a single cul-de-sac. What's really cool about that community is the home sites are going to be really wide, 93 and 100-foot wide lots, so you're going to have a lot of space in between you and your neighbors.
You can't reach out and touch your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're actually going to have to walk if you want to borrow some brown sugar or a cup of milk. And then the home sites are going to be deep enough for a pool as well. I mentioned we're going to be opening up our model in next couple weeks, but we've already begun pre-selling. So we have homes going up for families. In fact, we're going to have our first closing later on this month. And then the homes there, they're going to be starting at about 2,500 square feet in the mid 600s, going all the way up to about 4,800 square feet So we're really excited about that. So once we have the model, we'll be sure to have you come by.
That's like a mini mansion right there.
Yeah, well, we're very excited. Yes.
Well, real quick, how would someone reach you if they want to get a hold of you to get more information?
Best way they can contact me. I can be reached either by email or phone number, and or you can go online at Vintage Estate Homes, or you can check out our Facebook page, LMH's Facebook page at LMH Realty at Facebook.
Awesome. Well, Ross, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching The Buzz today on the community segment. I'm Wes Benwick, your host. See you next time.